Hey guys, and welcome back to Sorcery. Last time we finished out the very first part of this game with a brutal fight against a manticore that I totally won on the first round and nothing can prove otherwise. And now we're here, alone, abandoned by our friend Jean, but also knowing that there's some assassin that may one day come to our aid. It's a weird place to be, for sure. Now, who knows what we'll run into. I went ahead and went through the intro sequence, so I'm gonna go ahead and play that right here. The Crown of Kings has been stolen by the Archmage and taken across the backlands to Mampang. You have been sent to get it back. Should you fail, the whole of Kakabad will surely fall. A journey began. From the outpost settlement in Analand, you crossed the Shamanti Hills. Along the way, you spared the life of a defeated assassin, traveled with a Minamite who almost cost you your life, and fought and killed the dreaded Manticore. You faced starvation and disease. A test of character. To survive, you used your blade often. You deceived, charmed, and tricked your way through. Your spirit guide changed as you changed, becoming the dolphin. But now, all of that seems to be a distant memory, for you are approaching Khare, the cityport of traps. Founded on a ford of the Jabaji River, Khare was once a camp for the pirates who ambushed merchants sailing from Lake Lumel to the sea. But the camp grew. It became a village. The village became a town, and now Khare is a magnet for ne'er-do-wells and thieves, ruled over by a council of villains. Let the city do its worst. It is a place of treachery and traps. You will have to be constantly on your guard as you cross. Your goal is the North Gate, the only entrance to the backlands and to the next stage of your journey. If your quest is to succeed, you must enter the city port of traps and make it out alive. Twilight already. The great city of Khare has loomed large on the horizon all day, but has been slow to reach, the path tracing great loops back and forth through a deep and narrow pass. You have not seen a living soul except once, when a dark figure raced across the hilltops overhead and then was lost from view. So you are naturally cautious when you round a bend in the path and see a beggar, crouched low against a rock, muttering to himself. Alright, and welcome back. As you saw, there's a beggar in our path, and we're gonna go ahead and go talk to them. You stop, out of sight behind an outcrop, but the beggar does not look like much of a threat. Well, villains never look like much of a threat now, do they? They're always in the shape of an old man or woman, standing there with a poisoned apple in their hands, acting like they're innocent. Well, let's go ahead and wait and watch, I suppose. You watch in silence. The beggar is an unfortunate soul. His head twitches from one side to the other every few minutes, and he mutters and murmurs to himself. They're hiding in the rocks, sir. Hiding in the rocks. I'm going to approach him, because it seems better than trying to sneak past him and having him perhaps think that I am one of those people hiding in the rocks. You call a greeting and stride over, and he leaps to his feet, drawing a short stick from inside his cloak. Who goes there? He demands. What's your business in Khare? Greetings, old man. Enough of your greetings! His beggar spits back. I asked you a question. Who are you, and where are you headed? I am a traveler. The man pokes his stick at you. A traveler? Traveling where? Khare. Obviously Khare, but why? He prods harder. Answer me, or you'll face the consequences. Who are you, you ask? You're certainly very brave. The man beams with aging pride. I am the city god. No one enters Khare except through me. And then, despite his age and clear ill health, he comes at you, waving his stick. I won't fight you, you tell him. You are unarmed. He waves the stick close to your face, jabbing a few times, but you push the point aside with one hand. All right, then, he declares. We'll settle this fairly. He tosses the stick to one side and raises his fists. The knuckles are blackened with scabs. I still won't fight you, you reply. I mean it. The beggar makes a short braying noise like a laugh and then lamps you on the nose. It is surprisingly painful, and he is readying for another swing. All right, he asked for it. Interesting. Sighing, you roll up your sleeves. In a fist fight, damage is lower, and power refreshes more quickly. Interesting indeed. Alright, I have a feeling he's going to come at me with a strong jab to start off, so we're going to just go ahead and make sure we can counter his strongest attack, which would be equal to this bar here. So we'll just go ahead and start with that. Yep. There it was. I was completely able to block his first attack. Alright. A heavy hit is more likely to win the round, but will leave you undefended and weaker next turn. The beggar swings at you wildly in return. He puts his guard up. Strong attack to be wasteful now. A light jab will do as much damage and save your power. Alright, we'll go ahead and do a nice 1.5. And there we go. You've got 1 damage. You play it carefully and punch with a weak attack, overpowering the beggar again, who is defending. Good choice. A stronger attack would have wasted more of your power. Your opponent's stamina is at the top. If this reaches 0, you win the fight, which we know from the previous battles we've been involved in. Why you, he grumbles, preparing a medium swing. This time I got you. I should think if you want to try it. Alright, there you go. Nice kick to the head to end it. You hold your weight back a little and swing with a medium hit, injuring the beggar once more. The beggar pants and groans and then collapses into the dirt. No stamina lost. Perfect punch-up. I think that it was better that we did a fist fight, because if we did a sword fight, I feel like I would have killed the man. But here, at least in a, brawling match, not only could he hold his own, but I don't think he's going to be dead here. Alright, you roll your sleeves back down. Alright then, he murmurs into the ground, weakly waving a hand. You can pass. I'm going to help him up. Be a nice person. Holding out a hand, you help him upright. He sits up and dusts down his tattered clothing, a gray cloak that was once a uniform. He's shivering. The evening is drawing in, and it must get cold out here. You don't have any food, do you? He asks sadly. Dude, I only have 1 ration. Oh my god, am I gonna regret this? I mean, I have full stamina, pretty much, so. You rummage in your pack and pull out a hunk of bread and cheese. Here. The man grabs it and eats gleefully like a wild dog. He murmurs and grumbles to himself as he does so. I mean, now that I've fed him, it's tempting to say, come with me. But I don't think he would. I think that would kind of be like an insult, so I'm just going to say good luck. He nods to you, mouth still full. And to you. He screws up his brows for a moment in concentration. And listen, there are archers on the wall. The watchword is Kanto Pani. You waste no more time and take your leave. The path winds through gorse and thick grass. Khare squats in a basin in the hills like a stagnant, festering pool. You turn one corner, then another, and the stone walls of the city are looming over you. Ah, so I have found a clue. Interesting. The end of the pass. Before the entrance is a wide open area that will take a few minutes to cross. You could scramble up the slope to get to the right to get a better view of the wall. So I can either just go straight up to the wall or I can go and climb up. So I've recently learned that this bar under here is pretty much how much daylight is left, and I want to try to get into the city before that daylight kind of runs out. So I have a feeling I know what is up the slope, so I'm just gonna go, actually, the temptation to just see what's there is too great. You scramble up the slope for a better view of the wall. It is formed of staggering man-sized stone blocks, held together with gallons and gallons of mud and loam dredged from the base of the river. It curves away in both directions, unbroken except for the gate. And it looks like the old soldier was right. There's an archer posted on the battlement above the gate, watching the clearing. Let's look into the yard. You look beyond the wall into the south gate yard. It seems to be empty. A perfect moment to break in, then. I don't need to break in. I don't think. There's nothing else for it. You put up a hand and call out. The archer lifts a hand to shield his eyes against the sun. Who goes there? He bellows. Friend or foe? Friend, you cry. Ho, is that so? The archer shouts back. Then what's the watchword? The guard cocks an arrow and waits to see what you will do. Canto pani, you yell. The guard considers this for a moment, then lowers his bow. Approach, he calls. There we go. The south gate stands before you. It is as tall as 2 men, and would be broad enough to ride 3 horses through, if only it were open. But instead it is locked, and there is no other way into the city. Luckily, of course, you have a key. Let's go ahead and unlock the gate. You quickly remove the spin chief's key from your pack and slip it into the lock. The tumblers click as the key turns. Let's wait a second. You wait a moment, heart pounding in your chest. Has anyone heard you? You hear nothing through the door. Let's go inside. You slip through the gate and it slams shut behind you, the key still in the lock. Whoever the next ruffian to visit Khare may be, he will be grateful for your little gift. Then, a moment later, 2 guards appear at the corner of the yard. Strong, expert hands grab your wrists. You are dragged, pulled, and forced into a low stone building just by the gate. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. How could you put me in prison after doing nothing wrong? The door of the stone building is slammed, and the lock turns over behind you. You look around. The walls are stone, and the windows are barred. A bench against one wall is the only piece of furniture where an old man sits. He is dressed in dirty robes and seems in a sorry state. Let's greet the old man. I never think it's a good idea to ignore people. You step towards the shadowy bench. Greetings, old man. He ignores you. He is concentrating hard on something on the ground just in front of him, a collection of small stones, scattered as though for fortune-telling. After a moment, he gathers them up and tosses them again. You see that his other hand is missing completely. The left sleeve of his tunic hangs limp by his side. Let's look at the stones. You step over to peer at his stones, but he snatches them up quickly into his palm. If you want to play, he says defensively, then you have to bet. Play what? Why? The man replies with a shark-like grin. Swindle stones, of course. Swindle stones? You ask, intrigued. Stranger in town. Don't know how to play? Better and better. He shows you one of his stones. It is a strange, four-sided die. Sit, he pats the bench beside him with his one hand. Play. We can talk while I beat you. You'll have to teach me the rules. My lucky day, he grins with his one remaining tooth. It's easy. We each roll our dice in secret, but we bet on what we've rolled in total. You call if you think the other player was bid too high. The loser gives away a die. You go over to the bench, intrigued. Oh, looks like we've got a mini-game going on here. Oh boy. The old man drops 4 dice into your palm and sweeps away a patch of dust on the bench for you to play. I'll go first, he says, waving a hand. Show you how it's done. The game is simple. We roll and bet on what's come up. So, for instance, I might start and bet that between us we've rolled at least... Make a bet on the combined dice held by you and the old man. So I've rolled 2 4s. Interesting. So that 4 times a 1, 4 times a 2, 4 times a 3, 4 times of 5. Is there any 3 times of 5? I think, or 3 times of 4. I think 3 4s. I'm not falling for your innocence. Okay. Reveal dice. Ah, I didn't roll a 4. I see, so the old man wins this round. Oh boy, this is gonna be a rough game here. And I see, so the more that you play, I get it. The less you know about the odds. Do you know Khare well? No, I don't. Still think 3 4s. I do, and I know Khare dice too. Reveal dice. Hey, 3 4s, the round is yours. Hey. Okay. So, what did they get you for? It says 1 3. Huh, interesting. It changes. That would be telling. It's a mistake. I'm a petty thief. I'm a murderer. Interesting. No, it was a mistake. So he said 1 3. I'm gonna say 2 1s. Or actually, I should call because there are 2 3s. The old man wins this round. Okay, I don't understand the rule. Hold up. Each player has a set of 4-sided dice which they roll and hide. Players then bid on the amount of times a face value has been rolled across their own dice and their opponent's dice combined. Bids get higher and higher each turn, e.g. 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 1s. When one player believes their opponent's bid too high, they can call to challenge the bid. The dice are revealed, and whoever loses the challenge loses a die. Losing your last die forwards the game. So, if I believe that their bid is too high, then I can call. But if it's too low, I can't do anything? Weird. So what's your name? Don't you want to get out of here instead of just playing dice? What do you know of the north gate of the city? I'm gonna say 1 1. What's your name? Doomed. Well, now a name's a powerful thing. He thinks there's 2 4s. I think that's too high. If you've forgotten, then no matter. 4. 1 4. Start with 1 4. 2 4s. 3 4s. No way. That's got to be a call. Alright, this game is too hard. I cannot. I cannot win this game. That's the game, the old man says with a beaming smile, and you lost. The old man pockets his dice once more and stretches back, cheerful at his victory. I thought you were a bit slow. Thanks for the game, you say, standing once more. I see I have a little still to learn. The pleasure was mine, the old man says, putting his dice back into his pocket. He leans against the stone work and hums quietly to himself. Let's talk to the man. He should be in a good mood after completely owning us at that game. You take a seat on the other bench from the old man, who is fussing with his empty sleeve. You turn to face the old man. Tell me how I can escape this place. Oh, it's simple enough, he replies. In a day or two, the guards will let you out, once they've decided you're not an enemy. They just take a while to consult one of the mages. And if I don't want to wait? The old man shrugs. Then you can cast a spell and get that door open. You are a sorceress, aren't you? I hope I haven't got locked up with the normal. You stand from the bench once more. So I can wait 2 days, which would be a waste of my time, or I can try to escape. You go over to the door, locked of course from the outside. Try the copper key first. Then you have a sudden rush of relief. Of course, didn't the blind man outside Christianti give you a key to escape the cells of Khare? You put it out of your pack, grateful to not to have dropped it in your travels. You put it into the lock. It fits. You turn the key, but it sticks. If you push much harder, you risk snapping the key. I don't want to risk snapping the key, so I'm going to give up. You give up, afraid the key will snap. Only then do you remember. The blind man told you this was a key to the cells of the Red Eyes, not to the cells of the city guard. The key may still be useful, but not here. The old man, watching from where he sits, sniggers slightly, but hides his mirth as soon as you turn around. Alright, let's go ahead and cast a spell. So what spells are available here? I believe it was DOP that allows me to unlock things. Yes. Okay. What are my other options? Good old Zap is always here for me. What's with the eye? Zip, which is transportation. That'd be good, but I don't have a green ring. And an explosion. That would be one way to get out of here. A little more chaotic than I perhaps want. So we're gonna go ahead and dop it open. You aim the spell of opening towards the door and slowly, quietly let it go. The lock's rusted tumblers click over in response. Very good, the old man chuckles. Let's check outside. You check outside. The yard is empty. While you have been locked up, the sun has sunk below the wall. You should be able to walk right out of here under the cover of darkness. The old man is less cautious. He is up and out the door like lightning. Nothing to do for it but to leave the prison. The old man is spry despite his age and is quickly far ahead of you. Something tells me that old man isn't exactly what he says he is. Though now I kind of regret escaping because that means that I don't get the free food that they probably give prisoners. At the end of the yard, the road splits. Looking left, you see the guard lined up in rows, running drills. Best not to head that way. You think it's best not to head towards the guard? Yeah, probably. To the right, the road leads towards the first buildings of Khare. You can just see the old man disappearing off in this direction. Alright, here we are in the big city, so we've got go right, and I think that's literally the only option we have, so we're gonna go ahead and go right. Night is falling. Luckily, by the roadside is a small inn, which will make the perfect place to stay before you lose yourself in the winding streets of Khare. Alternatively, you could walk into the fields to the right and sleep out under the stars. From somewhere nearby, you hear a low, baying howl. I need to try the inn to at least get some food, as I have no rations. A sign outside the inn proclaims it the Crooked Finger. Let's go ahead and enter. You go inside and find an empty bar. The bartender is snoozing at the counter. Clearly, trade is bad. Hopefully that means cheap prices for me. That would be good. The bartender wakes with a snortle as you approach. What the heck is a snortle? That sounds like a really bad naming of a Pokemon. Greetings, shopper. He yawns. You'll be looking for directions to somewhere else, I suppose. I need to eat. No food here, I'm afraid, the innkeeper says. No point, since the rat gets it all. But a bed for the night will cost you 7 gold pieces. Let's haggle a little bit. 7 gold pieces is robbery, you tell him. The innkeeper shrugs. Car prices may not be what you're used to, he says. But you can sleep in the street if you prefer, and then maybe you'll see whether they're as high as they are. Do you pay swindle stones, you suggest? The innkeeper narrows his eyes. If you think you can cheat me out of your gold, you've got the wrong idea. Not cheat, you assure him. A fair game. He clearly doesn't trust you, but he nods. All right. He sweeps the space on the bar top. He rubs his hands. What's the stake? So if I bet the cost of a room, then that would be 7 gold pieces. But I definitely need to sleep. Actually, let's just bet 4 gold. We'll see how this goes. Alright. Here we go. Hopefully I get better at this game, because right now it's like, ugh. I'm gonna go 3 ones. I heard a baying sound. A baying sound could be anything. 3 5s. Certainly possible. I'm gonna say 4 4s. I don't know why I keep thinking they're 4s. Actually, I'm gonna say, ugh. Let's go ahead and call him on that. There are 4 4s, the innkeeper wins the round. One day I'll be good at this game. One day I will, I swear. You are in Khare for a while, you are. A short while, yes. I'm gonna start off with 3 2s. It's gonna call me on that. And be sure to visit the festival. 4 2s. No way. 5 2s would definitely be risky. Let's call. I should have done 5 2s. How do you know? Okay. 1 1. 2 5s. There's 2 4s. Let's go 3 4s. You're gonna have to call me on that. 4, no, that's way too high. No way. No way, you've gone too high. You have to have. Yes! Okay, we've got 1 round. This is going so poorly. Let's begin at 1 4. Good. Okay. I want to go 3 4s. Because I feel that 4 4s is going to be too high. I feel like that's too high. Yes. Okay, I'm doing better, guys. I've learned the game a little bit. We're doing better. Okay. Now I have 2 3s, so I'm going to start it at 1 3. This place seems very empty. It's a slow night tonight, that's all. I don't think so. This is 1 4. It's usually busier than this. It isn't slow tonight, it's a dead stop. Welcome to Lower Khare, the poor end of a poor city port. Not many people around here can afford to drink or gamble. I think 3 4s is too high. I'm gonna go ahead and call. Yes, 2 4s, the round is yours. I have gotten so much better at this game in such a short amount of time. It's impressive. So you're new to our fair city, is you? Yeah. 2 3s. How can you tell? Aha! The inn serves the guard and those coming through the gate, and you're no guardswoman. That's too high. It's only 2 of them. Yes! 1 more time. Ooh, I've got 2 1s. Alright, 2 times 1. It's a long road to travel. 2 times 2. I think he's right, is the problem. I have to call him. Yeah. Alright, come on. We got this. How about 1-3? I bid 1-4. 2 3s. No. Now you're wrong. Yes! I won the game, guys! I'm so proud of myself. You collect your gold from the counter once more, and the innkeeper reluctantly counts out another 4 into your palm. I was unlucky. It happens, he says. You want another try? I've played enough, you tell him, happy with your winning streak. Very well, the innkeeper smiles. Room costs 7 gold pieces, then, as I said. So you can either pay for a room or sleep outside. Well, you didn't have any food, which is really what I was looking for, so I'm going to go ahead and leave. Sleep outside. I'll be on my way. The innkeeper looks surprised, but you are out of the door before he finishes, heading in to find a hill to bed down in for free. It's time to sleep, with no food. You strike off into the fields and find a muddy dell in which to stretch out. The stars are out, forming the constellations of the dolphin, and you feel a certain peace despite the hulking shadow of the wall. You settle quickly. The sounds of the city drift to you on the night air, shouts and screams, and the occasional distant howl. You doze fitfully. Then, halfway through the night, you awaken to the sound of something scratching in the earth nearby. Moving slowly, you slide the sword from its sheath in readiness. You see red glowing eyes and slavering teeth in the gloom. It is a werewolf. But how can that be? The moon is only a crescent. Watch the beast. The beast paces around you in a circle, moving in and out of the shadow of the wall. Then for a moment you see it in the full moonlight, and the sight makes you catch your breath. What you took to be gray fur is in fact metal. The werewolf is wearing a fitted plate armor. Okay, what spells do we have? Is it the same as before? No, it's different. Okay, R, A, Z, sharpen blade requires beeswax. I don't have that. R, O, K, turn to stone requires stone dust. I still don't have that. L, A, W, controls non-intelligent creatures. That could be useful. G, O, B, summon a goblin. Why would I summon a goblin? That seems interesting. And is this fire? Fireball. Or find safe passage. I think our best bet's just to duke it out. Let's go, werewolf. Okay, he's got 5 stamina and not too much power, so I'm not really concerned. The werewolf bares its terrible teeth in reply. So the question is baring teeth antagonistic or not? I'm gonna guess that it is. Yes. Okay, -3, we're doing good. Its eyes grow redder and more desperate. You gonna attack again, buddy? Yup. Even stronger attack, and just like that, the fight is over. You put all your might into a sweep of your blade, hoping to finish the creature in a stroke. The blow connects, despite the creature's armor. As the werewolf quickly turns its jaws towards your leg, you lift your blade and plunge it into its throat. The werewolf gurgles as it curls around the blade and dies. With the werewolf dead, you wipe your sword on the grass and try to calm your thudding heart. Let's search the body. You look over the beast's armor with disgust. It is finely made, tightly forged to the werewolf's shape, part armor, part cage. Let's pry it open. With the tip of your sword, you pry loose the catches that hold the armor in place. As the plates slip to the ground, the dead beast begins to transform, turning the savage thing into a young human woman. But the transformation does not alter the sword wound at her throat. It does not bring her back to life. With a heavy heart, you regard her face. Otherwise, she seems to be just a girl, maybe 5 or 6 years younger than you. With the night now quiet and still, it is hard to believe that a moment before you were facing a slavering werewolf. The night feels unreal. But the wolf-shaped armor is still here, and the girl has a telltale wolf bite on her neck, just below a strange tattoo. The tattoo reads, Vic. It is undecorated, the penmanship is clear and simple. It is more like a cattle brand than a mark made for a lover. It is the tattoo of a slaver makes on its stalk. By the thin moonlight, you begin to dig in the mud with your sword, scraping out a hole large enough to bury the poor woman. The work is hard, but you have no choice. You cannot leave her for the crows. It is little consolation to know she was doomed before your sword ran her through. As you cover her up, you commend her soul to the dolphin. Then you move a short distance away and bed down to sleep, and try to forget the dead woman's face. You settle down to sleep. Your dreams, when they come, are of the wall, like a towering monster drenched in moss and slime at the gate its wide-open maw. Meanwhile, the one-armed prisoner throws the knuckles of his missing hand into the bench over and over, calling endlessly to himself. A wolf in shining armor howls at the sun, then turns to wink at you. And it is as though you can see the crown, sitting in the dust on the far side of the north gate, so close and yet so out of reach. Alright, we're going to go ahead and end it there for today. It was definitely eventful. We got into the city and they immediately arrested us for no reason that I can discern. We learned how to gamble, and then although we failed to our gambling sensei, we were then able to proceed and succeed in a match against someone not so skilled in the art of gambling. And then we went and we tried to sleep and ran into a werewolf. A very eventful night indeed, and who's to say that the future nights and days will be just as eventful. If you want to find out, go ahead and subscribe so you can get all the videos as they come out every other day. And go ahead and leave a comment, tell me what you liked below, or like this video if you enjoyed it. Anyways, thanks to you all for watching. I hope you soar high and enjoy your ride of life. Bye!